Hello my beautiful souls and welcome to my tarot card channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem, and in today's pick card reading we're going to be discussing what do men say about you to others. So in pick card readings you can view them how you like, you can watch the whole video, or you can watch whatever pile catches your eye as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. The way that I read tarot is about self-reflection, it's about showing you the different options you have, and if of course it's for entertainment purposes, so don't take anything too seriously. And know that you have your own free will. You get to decide for your own, decisions. Trust your intuition. So, today we have 3 piles here today. We have pile 1, which is the beauty card. So this is what the card looks like. It came in reverse. And it's got butterflies. She's like taking off her mask, and it's like these beautiful butterflies coming from out of her. And it was in reverse, and your image pile 1 is of this beautiful gorgeous baddie. She's like, it looks like she's in a subway system or subway line or like near trains or something. She's like leaning over on a glass, she's looking seductively, she's got these cute chains on, she's got this cute little blouse, crop top laced shirt with a leather jacket over it, she has dreads. She's got these beautiful lip color, beautiful eyeliner, eyebrows, long nails with jewelry on and rings. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 1. And then for pile 2, we have the marriage card. This is what the marriage card looks like. It's hard to see with these other things getting in the way. That's what it looks like. It's these 2 rings with flowers. And your image pile 2 is of this beautiful girl. She looks quite young. She looks like she is very soft-spoken, sweet, gentle. She's got these cute braids, this cute little dangly earring, this beautiful colorful necklace. She's wearing a white t-shirt and looks like she's at school or at some workplace, and there's like a fire alarm behind her. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 2. And then for pile 3, we have the growth card. It is a plant, a beautiful plant here. And your image pile 3 is of this beautiful gorgeous baddie. She has these beautiful dreads. She's got this like white gold jewelry on. She's got a little chain and another chain that has like a little planet on it with a cross. She's got this cute like laced top on. Her chest looks beautiful. She's like leaning over and she's looking over seductively, but also like a little bit shocked. It looks a little bit shocked, her expression. And she's got these beautiful glossy lips. Her skin is so smooth, silky, and shiny. And if that catches your eye, please pick pile 3. Okay, let's hop into the piles. Hello my beautiful pile 1s. If you chose this beauty card as well as this image, this will be your reading on what do men say about you to others. So we have tarot cards here, and let's talk about your thumbnail first. So with your thumbnail, what I was getting was mainly what people say is that you're very beautiful. We also have, let me lay out the tarot as well. We're going to talk about your thumbnail, then we'll talk about tarot, and then we'll go and finish the reading with Pinterest board. So these are the cards that we got for you. So my beautiful pile 1s, what do men say about you to others? The first thing that I was getting is that you're very attractive. People, how men view you is to be very seductive, especially with your eye contact, your eyes. You have very like seductive eyes. Maybe it's the posture. Even in like your photo, she's like leaning, and somehow she makes it look sexy. So there could definitely be something about that. How men view you is like what they could say about you to others is that maybe they say like you were giving a look to them, or they like make a comment of being like, oh, they were giving me that look. I was also getting 444 could be significant to stability. Like when I see the number 4, I think of stability, emotional stability, financial stability. And right now the time is 4:44. Also, I shuffled 4 cards at first, and then I chose a card. So 5 could also be like change about the number 4, which, okay, anyways. So you could be bringing change about your stability. So with these cards here, what I have for you, pile 1, the first card we have is the beauty card, and it's in reverse. I think there could be something about what men say about you to others is that not only are you beautiful on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside. There could be something about you being more vulnerable, stepping into being more vulnerable, more open, more loving, just like really expressing yourself authentically with this beauty card. Because if you look at it, what it made me think of is like she's taking off this mask to show off her, you know, authentic beauty, her real beauty, not some, you know, mask to be perceived as beauty by others, but more of just like being your authentic self, being yourself. And that's what I was really getting, especially with it being in reverse. So there could be something about like people feel like you are not only beautiful on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside as well, pile 1. There could be something about you giving this person butterflies. This person could like the way you act with them. Maybe you are a little bit shy to opening up, and they like that they're able to see past maybe like this mask a little bit, and they like what they're seeing. They definitely find you to be very seductive, very attractive. They like to flirt with you. Maybe they're thinking, they could be saying to others is that they want to take you out on a date, maybe hook up with you. They find you to be very tempting. There could be some sort of third-party interference as well. They could be talking about that situation to someone else, saying like, well, this person, and they're like, well, I don't know what to do. Maybe that's what's coming out a little bit with that. There could be also some seeking of validation or lust, ego-boosting type of lustful love, which can be no bueno. So if that resonates with you, of course that's not going to resonate with everybody, but if it does resonate with you, the biggest advice and piece of information that I've learned recently about that is no matter how you act, no matter what you do, you can't make somebody like you, you know, and that's why you have to just be who you want to be who it is that you are, and you will attract the, you know, the people who are meant for you. By you pretending to be somebody else, you are holding yourself back from meeting the right people. So there could be something about that. If that doesn't resonate, you know, the main message that we're getting is you're seductive. With the 5 of Pentacles here in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles says recovery from financial loss and spiritual poverty. Wow, that's crazy that I was talking about the number 444 and change in that. So how men view you is like you've been recovering financially. Maybe you've been really like, you know, working hard towards your finances. Maybe you've been, you know, you've become financially independent. Maybe you've just been, you know, you have that bag, sis. You're like, I'm no longer, you know, struggling. I'm no longer in my survival mode. I'm no longer worrying about abundance. And there could be something about spiritual poverty here. Let me see what that could mean. So the reverse says 5 of Pentacles reverse indicates an end to difficult times, particularly if you're having recently suffered a major financial hit or loss. You may find a new source of income, a new job, and someone has offered to help you out while you get back on your feet. You may be starting to feel as if life is worth living again and regaining your self-confidence. Finally, you can see a way out of your financial difficulties and your hope is renewed. The Verse of Pentacles could also sometimes illuminate the persistence of inner spiritual poverty. You may be feeling as though something is missing or entirely out of place, but you're struggling to put your finger on it. You may also feel isolated or alone, even in the company of many people. On a deeper reflection, you may come to realize that you have placed too much emphasis on your material wealth and have neglected your spiritual well-being. Wow. And then another thing it says, you may worry that you don't have enough, especially when it comes to money. And then the other thing says, you may find your fixations on material things is causing you harm to your spirit and your mindset. Then it's time to stop. Even if you have just a few cents to your name, you may still have a loving family or a beating heart. Yes, it may suck, but if you hear this poverty mindset coming through, it's in your thoughts, pause for a moment and ask yourself whether I can afford it. Is the truth or a limiting belief? Wow. That's crazy. You know what it makes me think of with that mindset? Like a lack. It's coming from a place of lack. A lack mindset. It's like I never have enough. Nothing can ever fill this void. And even when you do get money, even when you do, receive these great things, it's almost like we still focus on what we lack. And it's like, why do we do that? It's like our mind is so focused on survival. So what I'm really getting, if that resonates with you, it may not resonate with all y'all, but what I'm getting with that is to really focus on the abundance. Focus on what it is you have. Focus on the 2 cents you do have. Focus on the family you have. Focus on the fact that you're on, I'm grateful that I get to live another day. I'm grateful that I, X, Y, and Z. Having more of gratitude, and there could be something about stepping more into your spiritual self. Doing your own tarot card pulls, daily tarot card pulls, some journaling, some meditation, some yoga. Some of that stuff could really add. But the main message I'm getting with this is that maybe some men have mentioned that to somebody else and said that maybe they've been noticing that maybe you've been stressing out financially. Or there could be something about what men have said is that you don't stress out financially, is that you aren't focused on your money, and you're not focused on the lack. You're kind of just like, you know what? You're just being. You're being in the present, you're focusing on the now, you're finding gratitude even in the littlest moments, because it's like it brings more positivity into your life. So that's what I'm getting with the 5 of Pentacles. And then the other card we have is the Ace of Swords. This is mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, new conflict, surgery. Some of you, what men have been saying about you to others, and maybe people have been noticing that maybe you are like doing surgery or going to surgery, having some surgery of something. That could be very specific. Another thing is people have been noticing your mental clarity. People have been noticing your shift in your mindset. People have been noticing like your thoughts have been changing. You've been having this tremendous like breakthrough, this new change. Also, we got the 1 for pile 1 and 5 for this big change. So pile 1, you're definitely have, this is a beautiful message that like this is just a sign that you are successful. It's not you are going to be, you are successful. What you're doing is working, and keep going. Don't give up. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's working. And people have been noticing. People have been saying about it. People have been talking about it. People are like, wow, pile 1 has changed. Pile 1 is no longer, scared. No longer fearful. No longer vibrating at a lower frequency. No longer, holding themselves back from their own amazing potential. And happiness. Happiness is a choice. You get to choose to be happy. Repeat after me. Today, obviously, that depends with everybody. That's just what I believe. Not everybody, of course, is going to believe that. And it depends on, your mind and stuff. But also, when things pop up in our mind, we could say to ourselves, I choose to be happy. I choose to let this thought go. I choose to rip it out and detach from it, because it is not serving me in the present moment. and it's in the past. It's something that has happened in the past, or it's something that happens in the future. It's not happening now. So I don't need to worry about it. So there could be something about what men have been saying is that you've been more like honest, you've been more clear, you've been more direct, you've been having these new amazing ideas, maybe talking about something new coming in, having more success, being very sharp-minded towards your, whatever it is that you're doing. And maybe when it comes to love as well, like finding more success when it comes to your relationships, and releasing limiting beliefs, and maybe releasing limiting beliefs when it comes towards children could be a very big one. That may not resonate with all of you, but there could also be something about children in this reading for you. How men have been viewing you is either that you really like children, and people are like, I want to have children with this person, I want to have kids with them, I want to, start having kids with them, I want to have dogs, I want to have kids, I want these beautiful children, I want, or there could be something about releasing a limiting belief when it comes to children, like being like afraid of having kids, or being very against kids, or maybe that's just something how you feel about it, is you feel very strongly about that, and that's, you know what, you're allowed to choose that. You don't have to change your mind. You're allowed to be like that way. You're allowed to think this way. You're allowed to, choose that. So there could just be something about the way you think towards that. And there could be something about children. Maybe people feel like you're very like loving, very nurturing, have this like, motherly type of love. But that's really what I'm getting. It says your love life is being affected by children. Maybe someone has a kid. Maybe there's like this relationship is getting affected by kids. Maybe this person talks a lot about how they're like, oh, like maybe there's a difference between agreements about having kids. Maybe there's a difference, maybe someone has a kid and maybe they've been spending a lot of time with their kid, prioritizing their kid, and they haven't had enough time to prioritize the relationship. But that is what I have with your tarot cards, my beautiful Paiwans. I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments about it. Let's see what your Pinterest board has to say. So, Pinterest. Wow. Okay, so the first thing that we have is what men have been saying about you to others. It's like there could be definitely, again, you're very seductive. There could be something about wanting to kiss you, wanting to maybe grab your face and kiss you, or maybe also like wants you to suck on their fingers. Could be something. It says, he gave birth to that dog. There is no way. I'm dead. Oh, wait. There could be, you guys could be like dog lovers, we did get dogs. So dogs could be something, having dogs together. It's almost like someone looks like their dog, that whole like thing that was going around that says like, animal lovers look like their pets. There could be something about maybe having an agreement on not wanting to have kids and instead being animal parents. There could be something about waking up and people could you could wake up really like, you could wake up looking like this. People could really love it. What men say about you is that you wake up looking like so cute, and when you wake up in the morning, it's like they just love to see that like vulnerable side to you. They really like your outfits. It could be something about like a blouse. You could look very clean, very neat. It could be something about drinking at a bar. There could be something about a hamster, pet lover. We also have Jim and Pam, and having a baby. Wow, it says wrong baby, wrong baby. That's so funny. They pick up the wrong baby and they're breastfeeding the wrong baby. Oh my god. Wow, so there could be something about like definitely children. That's crazy that popped up and we had the children card came up. So it says born to dilly-dally, forced to lock in. And then again with like, it says I can't keep myself from Michael. The man exudes sex. People can feel like you exude sex, and people could feel like they can't keep their hands off of you. Maybe there's also like almost like somebody's romanticizing the F out of you. Like you may not even be that way, the way that they're perceiving you, but there's just like they can't seem to like, they're like just obsessed. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Thank you so much for watching. I do sell and offer personal readings if you'd like to get one and treat yourself. I have tons of different decks on there that you could get just with that in particular deck, or you could bundle up and, you know, choose and customize your own little reading. So you could add like charms, love radio, Pinterest board, index messages, and pick like a couple tarot decks that you'd like. That's always available. So if you'd like to check that out, you could either click on the store tab in my tarot and it will bring you to my website, or you could go to my Beacon AI tab that's in the description and in the bio. That is what's being displayed over there. And I also am going to have an extended reading to this pile. It's probably going to be 18 plus. So we'll do, you know, we'll pull some 18 plus tarot, 18 plus messages. So if you feel like this really resonated and you want to hear more messages about it, definitely go check out over there. And I'm freely to talk about the more 18 plus side. So definitely check it out if you're interested. If not, no worries. Thank you for even just being here and watching my videos. And I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye. Hell, that's crazy. I just shuffled the Pinterest board pile too. I just shuffled your Pinterest board and we get rings. And what was your image to pick? The marriage. That's crazy. Okay, anyways, pile 2. People, and okay, hold up. Let me, hold up. If you chose this card as well as this image, this will be your reading on what do men say about you to others. The number one message, pile 2, that people say about you to others is that they're going to marry you. Number one, that's, we could end the video right here. That's what they say, is that they're going to marry you. They want to marry you. They see you as their forever partner, their husband, wifey material. They just want to be with you, and they want to be with you forever. So that's such a beautiful message. And if you guys are getting married, congratulations. Like, the fuck? But anyways, okay, so the first thing we have, we're going to do Pinterest board, and then we have some tarot to the side. But the first thing we have is how I feel leaving the gym after glute day. They could talk about your glutes. They could be like, yeah, pile 2's got some nice glutes. Pile 2's got a nice booty. Pile 2 got a nice peach. They could talk about, maybe if this isn't, they could just be like talking about, they could just really love your bum. You have a really nice bum, okay? So we also have rings here. This person could want to marry you, get engaged. They could really want to kiss you, hold your hand. They could feel like you're a badass, especially with the sword. There could be something about, like, another thing I was getting, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient. I'll talk about it later. You could be someone who's very stern, and direct, and someone who, with the sword card, there could be something about like cutting, like maybe cutting ties with people who are no longer serving you. There could also just be, maybe you're really good with communication. You're good at communicating, and not in like a, you know, mean or, you know, hurtful way. You're just like, it's just getting you're good at communication. We also have, my friend is a tattoo artist. I asked her to cover up my horrible scar. I showed her this pic in reference. This is what I got. And it doesn't even show it. She's a genius minds. There could be something about what men say about you is that they really like your tattoos. There could be something about a tattoo you have, maybe like a fish or like a koi type tattoo that you have that could be really attractive. And they really like it. There could be something about Canada Goose. We also have The Office. This is a photo taken right after the last cut of The Office. Oh, and everyone's sad. There could be something about moving jobs or changing a job. Or could just be something about The Office. We have little, like, bento boxes, or like these tasty food. Maybe some of you guys are like artists, and what men say about you is that to others is that they love your art and you're amazing, and like the art you create is fantastic. For some, you could also just be that maybe you cook really good. Maybe you make like the most delicious meals. Maybe you make like lunch boxes. Maybe you make sushi, or this person could want to eat sushi with you, or want to get, you know, Asian cuisine with you. Could be something. There could be something about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and being like annoyed on the phone. It says "Huzz" when it's Toodles gonna be here. I've been waiting for 5 minutes. These kids. There could be something about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and there could be something about being on the phone and like just being like annoyed, or being like looking serious and like patiently waiting about something. It says vanilla ice cream lover. Maybe some of you guys are vanilla ice cream lovers. You could have like a really beautiful dress. Maybe the dresses you wear are very elegant, very classy. You look clean, cut, and fabulous. We have me on my weekdays versus me on my weekends. You could have like what men say about you to others is that you have like two different personalities. One side that's really girly, really fun, and like, you know, soft, and then another side to you that could be like more you know, maybe something specific about like cars, interested in cars, being a racer girl, or there could be something about being more, you know, on the flip side of that side. It says, I'm about to crash the blank out. That's funny. There could be someone about you just like, I kiss you, I love you. I think that's what he says. There could be something about someone really wanting to kiss you, pick you up like a little Barbie doll, and just like treat you like a little princess. Could be something about that. Oh, and we have this too. There could be something about getting like, I think this is like Mexican. Yeah, for real, I'm Mexican, that's why. There could be like Mexican food. It says shadow work. There could be something what men say about you to others is that you've been doing your shadow work. There could be some questions. These could be some questions that maybe have been answered or thought about. You could give someone stars. Maybe there's something about giving. I just thought of like, you know how in the cartoons when you punch somebody, they see stars. There could be something about almost like you make someone see stars by maybe like from what you say. Or I was also kind of getting like you just give somebody stars. Like you give somebody this like butterfly feeling, like this tingly feeling inside their chest. There could be something about also you're like star energy. My food delivered, hold on. Sorry, I ordered DoorDash. So, okay. There could be something about, you know that one movie, Santa Baby? There's like something about, there could be something about this, like Christmas time, being very sexy, wearing like a little sexy Christmas costume. What movie? This is like, one of those, what is the movie? It's almost you could be young, pile two. There could be something about you being young. And the reason why I say that is because I remember in this scene of the movie, it's these girls. Oh wait, no, this is Mean Girls specifically. Yeah, and Mean Girls happens in like in high school or something. There could be something about you being very young, or maybe the two of you being young, or maybe you're still like young or something. So what men say about you is that you're still very young. Could be something. And another thing I was getting. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, so. There could be like otters kissing, wanting to give you a smooch. People could feel like you're how men view you is like to be very cuddly, like an otter. There could be something about an otter being your spirit animal. You could take like baths. What men say about you is you like to relax, take baths, maybe watch TV and like, you know, doll yourself up, doing like a little spa day for yourself. People could like your self-care, the way you take care of yourself, and you just ignore people's missed calls. You're like, it's me time. Me time, me time. There could be something about having a lot of cash. It says, maybe my problem is when I'm lost, I look for you and not myself. Damn, that's deep. You could be someone, what men say about you, pile 2, is that they look for you when they are feeling lost. And you're somebody that almost like, you're like, or maybe that could be something that maybe they felt like you do, is like you look for them or rely on them. Or maybe there's something about like struggling with a bit of, like, you know when you're like younger, sometimes you like, you fall into this trap of thinking that, like, you know, as you get older, you start to mature and realize that it's about like you, and you start pouring more energy into yourself rather than all this energy into a relationship. So there could be something about that in particular, is like how men view is maybe this is something that you've been doing. You started pouring more energy into yourself and focusing on you. Stop staring. Maybe a lot of people can't help but stop, like they can't help but stare. Maybe people have been noticing that you've been staring at them. It says, I'm gonna have to call you back, baby. I'm a little busy right now. There could definitely be something about picking up the phone, being like, I need to talk to you later. I spend a little more time trying to make something of myself and a little less time trying to impress people. Yeah, I don't think, maybe this is something about, maybe you're young, but you're very mature mentally, pile 2, and you're not the type of person that tries to impress people. You're not somebody chasing people. You're kind of just like focusing on you, and you're like, if I'm not interested in talking to you on the phone, I'm not going to answer. Why does my TV do that? There's a lot of crazy shit going on in this reading, pile 2. It's kind of a little bit chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So that's what I have with your Pinterest board. It says, should I come over? Hosting ideas. Maybe you're a really good hostess. It says, me in my 30s. Maybe some of you guys are in your 30s. Hard. Maybe you look very young. Maybe you look very young. If you aren't young, maybe you look very young. Okay, so that is what I have for you with your Pinterest board. Let's see what we have with your tarot cards. So, the main thing I was getting with the hand of cards is it says, take a chance, risk, be strategic, options, not showing hands, gambling. How men view you is maybe you've been being like strategic, maybe you haven't been like, when I think of the hand of cards, I think of like somebody who is trying to play games when it comes to love, or feeling like they have to manipulate or cheat or steal in order to receive love. And it's almost like that's, if you really think about it, that's coming from a place of lack of self-worth, because it's like, if you really deep dive into that feeling, it's because we don't feel good enough as ourselves to be accepted right now. And if you really think about it, you will find somebody and you will be with somebody who loves you for who you are right now. No matter, you know, like not needing to be strategic when it comes to love. That's the main message I'm getting with this. Another thing that I'm getting is, so there could be something about how men view you is maybe they feel like maybe you've been strategic. Another thing I've been getting, if that doesn't resonate, this could just be maybe you've been someone who's taking a chance, taking a risk towards love, maybe showing more of a hand, being less strategic. Like maybe you're someone who's just very honest, because it's in reverse. Maybe it's just like, you know, you're straight up saying, hey, like, I'm showing you my cards. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. I'm not trying to impress you. I don't care. This is what I want. If you cannot do that for me, that's okay. I will find somebody else. So there could be something about that. And if that just, like this, with the upright version of what I was saying, It says not showing hand. It's almost like trying to have it's having a wall up and protecting yourself from getting hurt. But in reality, in order to really attract real love, sometimes you have to be, vulnerable. So that's what I'm getting with that. So how men view you is like it could be either or of what I was saying. So they could be saying to others like, I feel like pile 2 is being strategic. I feel like pile 2 is not really being authentic. I feel like pile 2 might be, taking chances, taking risks towards certain things. And vice versa, it could be, it could be the opposite, which is, I feel like pile 2's, authentically showing me what it is that she wants. Or authentically showing me what it is that they want. They are taking chances towards love and taking risks towards, reaching out to people and like getting to know people and not being afraid of being vulnerable. So yeah, there could be something about that. With the 9 of Swords here, 9 of Swords in reverse talks about it says inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, releasing worry. Wow. So this could be a message for you. Maybe just this is a message from the universe talking to you. Is maybe you've been worrying about love. Maybe you've been worrying about feeling like you need to get married. Maybe that it's a worry that you're feeling like you're not. There could just be something about worrying about relationships coming in. And if that is the case for you, pile 2, you don't need to worry. This is a reassurance. This is letting you know, hey, there's nothing you need to worry about. It's almost like when you finally let go and let it flow, that is when it happens. That is when you find the person. That is when you find the authentic person, the person that's actually made for you, the person that is meant for you. And if you guys are in what this could be saying is maybe you've been having worries about your relationship. Maybe there's some sort of turmoil, fears, secrets, or certain things like that that might be causing friction in your relationship. That could be maybe this person has been, how do men view is like maybe they've been talking about that towards other people. Maybe they've been worrying that maybe they've been worrying about this relationship. Maybe they've been saying like, these are some things I'm feeling. Is that I'm fearful or a little bit worried that pile 2 may not feel the same way, or that pile 2 doesn't care, or that pile 2 is losing interest or something. Of course, how they feel is not your responsibility, pile 2, but it could be maybe mirrored. And so yeah, that's what we have with that. And then with this card, the 6 of Cups, it says familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, nostalgia. So how do men view you, pile 2? To be very nostalgic. People feel like you're very nostalgic. People feel like you have like this maybe innocence to you. People reminisce on the happy memories with you. People feel like you're very familiar to them. There's something about you that just feels familiar. And they feel like attached and tied to you. There could be something about you guys having very similar like thinking, beliefs, humor, different things like that. Of course, know that every relationship is different, but there could just be something about that coming in. And how men view you is like this is what they say to others. It's like they feel so joyful to be around you. They love spending time with you. They love reminiscing on the memories with you. They feel like you're very nostalgic. Maybe they feel like maybe you focus a lot on memories, on the past. Maybe there could be something about how men view is like you feel familiar. With this is people could be saying how men view you and what they've been saying to others is they feel like you've been stressing out. Maybe you've been feeling like overwhelmed. Maybe you've just been stressed, having some inner turmoil. and maybe they're worrying that it has something to do with them. Or there could be something about, maybe you've been struggling on releasing the past. Maybe there's something about letting go of, you could be releasing something, pile 2. There could be something about, like, what men say about you to others, like, is that they feel like you're very joyful. You have a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. Maybe that hasn't been the case at this very moment. Or it has been the case at this very moment, and it's almost like, it's from releasing and letting go of the things you can't control, the overthinking. Maybe what men say is, like, maybe you struggle with overthinking, and they want to, like, help you, or, like, want to, like, almost, like, challenge your thoughts with you, could be something. But it's almost like maybe they've been noticing you've been doing your own work, your own shadow work. You've been working through it, and you've been doing an amazing job. There could be something about being very proud of you, and, like, want to celebrate and want to, there could be something about that. Another thing I'm getting could be that there could be a past person that how they view you is stressing out about you, and is maybe not happy with the way things went. And then with this we have, stay optimistic about your love life. It says positive thinking, faith will bring you romance. Sometimes we really just have to focus on the positives. Sometimes we really just have to acknowledge them and see them for what it is, and see that, things, maybe this has an opportunity. Maybe this was, maybe there's something positive to look at when it comes to this. And maybe you, about how men view you, pile 2, is that you always try to look at the positives. You always try to be grateful. You always do your absolute best to work towards, finding happiness. And there can be something about you doing a lot of mental work, and it's really been paying off, pile 2. You've been doing a fantastic job. So that's what I'm really getting with your cards, pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested, I do personal readings. Every single deck you see on my channel is listed there. I do bundle readings as well, and they're super customizable. You get to choose what deck. You could add the Pinterest board, the charms, initials, index messages, all those different goodies. So you could check that out. That's in the YouTube store app. You could click on it, it brings you to my website, or you could go through my beginning AI tab. It's in the bio, it's in the description. But yeah, and I'm also going to do an extended reading to this pile, so if you're interested in checking that out, I'm going to have some 18+ messages in there, and I'll freely be able to discuss those things. So if you feel like this really resonated to you and you want to hear more about it, I'm going to extend it over on my Patreon, so make sure to check that out. It's in the description, and I'll see you in one of the next ones, my beautiful pile 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 3s. If you chose this card as well as this image, this will be your reading on what do men say about you to others. So, we have this card here, and we have some tarot here. So we're first going to talk about the tarot, and then we're going to hop into Pinterest board today. So, and we're also going to talk about your thumbnail. The first thing we're going to do is talk about your thumbnail. So your thumbnail is, I think the first thing, what men say about you to others, and like they talk about, is they talk about your, like, the way you look at them. There could be something about your stare, the way, like, you do your makeup. I think this person talks about how sexy you are. I think they talk about how much they love your hair and the way that you style it, and the amount of time and effort you put into your hair. I was also getting, they could talk about your breasts, they could talk about your chest, they could be talking about like, yeah, pile 3's got a beautiful body. They could really love the jewelry you wear, maybe the chains you wear. There could be one in particular that has like a planet on it that they could talk about. They could really like your earrings. Maybe also gifting you jewelry, wanting to gift you jewelry. I don't know why that came out. They could talk about your lashes. They could just like the look, the little pretty look that you give them. And there could be something about like your posing, the way you pose. Because it looks like she's doing like some sort of photo shoot. And there could be something about your lips, having really beautiful lips. So with these cards here, we have 5 cards. And for the first one with the growth card, I think what men say about you to others is that you've been growing, you've been changing, you've been evolving. There could be something about this person loving the plants you have in your home. Maybe you were like a plant mom. They could talk about it and be like, yeah, pile 3 is really good at taking care of plants. Pile 3 has a ton of plants. Or maybe you are just growing and evolving in itself. Like this, what men say about you is that you've been changing, you've been growing, you've been evolving, you've been healing. And maybe they feel like you've been needing some time for yourself to progress and heal. So that is what men have been saying about you. Another thing we have here is express your love. It says go ahead and make a romantic gesture. There could be someone in particular that wants to express their love to you. They want to go ahead and make a romantic gesture towards you. Or they could be saying like, I wish pile 3 would make a romantic gesture towards me. Or they wish that you'd be maybe more vulnerable when it comes to expressing your feelings. And that could be something that you're healing and working through. Especially with this Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords are known for direct, emotionless communication. So there could be something about being more vulnerable when it comes to, talking to somebody instead of having like the feeling of needing to be safe and protected, letting the guard down, basically. So with the Queen of Swords, it says unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, and perspective. This, what men say about you, pile 3, is that you're very unbiased. You're not somebody to jump on one side and then not being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Like I think you're someone who's like the mediator. This is how this person could be perceiving you, is like they feel like you are, very balanced, or you try to put yourself in other people's shoes and have a very unbiased judgment. You could be also someone who's very independent, someone who has very clear boundaries, someone who has very direct communication. You could also be very clear with your mind, like your thoughts that you're having, and you're very clear on what it is. Like, you don't have, like, a million thoughts running around at once. It's like you think very clearly. You're able to write things down. You're able to reflect on them. You're like, okay, I know what I want. I know what I need to do. You're good at, like, perceiving things for what it truly is. So that could be a thing that what men say about you. And then we have the World card in reverse. So the World card in reverse, this is a major arcana card, so this could be definitely very heavy. Interesting. So the World in reverse says seeking personal closure. And then it says shortcuts, delays. So what men could be saying about you to others is that you've been seeking personal closure. You've been working with yourself, maybe being more vulnerable to yourself, expressing your love for yourself, really turning inward and like just, loving yourself and growing with yourself. You're taking time for yourself to heal, progress, and grow. And then There could be something about maybe you've been hitting a lot of delays, or maybe there's been some wanting to have some shortcuts towards this, like wanting it to be over, but it's almost like it needs more time. So let's read what it says in reverse. It says, the World card in reverse suggests that you're seeking closure on a personal issue. Perhaps you're still emotionally attached to a past relationship and want to move on, or you dream of a day you'll fit into your old skinny jeans but realize that your metabolism and body shape has changed in the past 10 years. You know deep down that to accept and embrace where you are now, you need to let go of the past and move on. Find closure may be an intense personal journey, something you manage through journaling, visualization, energy work, and therapy. The World reverse can signify that you want to fulfill a big goal or complete a big project, but you're not taking all the steps necessary to get there. You may opt for an easier, quicker path to attain your goal, but it won't lead you to the outcome you intended. Climbing a mountain from the bottom up is an entirely different experience from getting a helicopter ride to the peak. Even though the destiny is the same, you need to experience the trials and tribulations along the way to learn and grow. And when you reach your goal, you will enjoy a fantastic sense of achievement. Then the last thing it says for what this could possibly mean for the reverse, it says the reverse world can also indicate a time when you are close to finishing a project or goal, maybe healing, but for whatever reason you're losing focus and slacking off right at the end. You only have a short way to go. Why stop now? Re-energize. Remind yourself how wonderful life is, and you will, when you get the thing you've wanted for so long, and how it will feel when you get the thing you've been wanting for so long. Sometimes the reverse world can mean a frustrating delay in completing your projects. You might miss an essential piece, and you won't find closure until it gets worked out. You may need to get more creative to figure out how to touch the finish line. Interesting. Okay, so what this card could mean is all these different things, and maybe when it comes to love, there could be something that's like almost like the spiritual work and the mental health in like the healing. Maybe there's something about like delaying the healing of some sort of past things that are really calling for your attention, and that might be just what it is you need to break through. It also says sometimes when you hit delays with, like, let's say a project, it's not the project that's the issue. It might just be, you know, you could find ways around the blockages. You could find a way around it. You could, you know, just because you fail one way doesn't mean that you can't still do it. And there might be a creative way to find a resolution so that you can, you know, touch the finish line. I don't know why I also thought of like running. Maybe you're like a runner. Because it says finish line, it talks about climbing mountains, it talks about a lot of like cardio things. Maybe you do like running or hiking or mountain climbing and different things like that, and you've been doing an amazing job. Maybe it has something to do with eating or like dieting. Could be something that maybe you're like having shortcuts and delays with, and it might have to do with healing, like mentally. It might be a mental thing. So maybe there's what men say about you is like they really congratulate you. They're like, wow, like pile 3 is doing an amazing job. Pile 3 has been working very hard. They've been taking time for themselves. They've been healing themselves. They've been, you know, growing in their own way. And, you know, if I could ever give an amazing book recommendation, it's these books. These are the books that I've been reading recently. And where the hell's the other book? And pile 3, I genuinely feel like these books have changed my life. And I would love to invite you to possibly read these if you're interested in, you know, doing your own self-healing. But yeah, so what men say about you to others is that you've been healing. You've been taking the time for yourself to heal. You've been progressing. You've been growing. You've changed. Pile 3, you've changed. You've grown. You're like stepping into, you know, being more in tune with your inner child, having more clear-cut boundaries with people, and not in a way that's mean. It's more in a way of being like, hey, you know, if you continue to do this, I can't be friends with you. Or if you continue to do this, what I'm going to have to do is pull away my energy. And these are the consequences. You know, like I have to enforce with myself. I have to stay true to myself. With the World card, it really just talked about, like, you know, seeking personal closure, healing from, like, closing a chapter of your life, and you're doing amazing. What men say about you is that you are changing and you're closing the door of the past, and the future's looking bright for you, pile 3. You're doing an amazing job, and it's really going to work out for you, and it's literally fantastic. This is amazing. Like, congratulations, pile 3. Congratulations. Like, this is amazing. This has been hard work. This has been motherfucking hard work. And you're doing an amazing job. Even if you're sad because of maybe some of the people you had to leave behind, it's okay. You're making room for better people. You're making room for a better life. You could still, you know, have love for them. You could still have love for them. You could still, you know, maybe hang out with them once in a while. But know that you have to stay true to yourself. You have to stay true to your change, to your growth. And that's what I really wanted to say with these cards. So the next thing that we're going to do is Pinterest board. So let's see what Pinterest board has for you, my friend. Let's see. Let's see what it opens up to. So we have, she puts the itch in bitch. She puts the whore in horrifying. So there could be something about there could be maybe some haters, or there could be some fans, pile 3. There could be some fans being like you are literally, you know, the bitch. You are literally that bitch. And with the horrifying horror comment, there could be something about maybe like people are like, you're not afraid to be yourself, and that makes other people scared. Maybe you've been like delving into different cuisine and just eating like amazing like Asian food. There could be something about, and maybe taking yourself on out dates. Maybe going on like your own little dates, taking yourself on dates. Maybe there could be someone in particular. Why did my voice crack? There could be someone in particular that wants to buy you some flowers. There could be something about the moon and stars. Maybe there could be something about the moon, which is Pisces energy. It also talks about like illusions and different things like that. We also have making someone feel seen, heard, and understood is the loudest way to love them. You could be someone who really makes people feel seen, heard, and understood, even in the loudest ways. We have back to sport. Here's something about like getting back into working out maybe. We have a biker and like a biker guy, and he's like she's like kind of like leaning on his lap. There could definitely be a romantic interest here that keeps coming out, that wants to buy you flowers and maybe wants to hold your hands behind your back. We have this 𝑒𝑑ward being like, oh my god, can't smell her type thing. There could be something about people could feel like you smell really good, and it drives them crazy. You could also be really stunning. You could have really beautiful hair, like you could just have a really beautiful features, like beautiful face, smooth skin, all of the above. Maybe you have like a friend group, or there could be 2 men in particular, or maybe 3 men that are talking in a group, or this could just be, this is you being very goofy with your friend. We have a __ book for adults. It says ballroom dancing. It says teach kids what bad friends look like. They disrespect your boundaries. They tease or hurt you regularly. They control your attention on demand. They compete with you on everything. They show up when they feel needed, that they need something. They act different in public and in private. They peer pressure you into things you don't want to do. They make fun of your dreams. They get jealous of your success. They judge you to criticize. They judge or criticize to try to change you. Maybe there's something to do with bad friends. Maybe you've been dealing with some bad friends, pile 3, and maybe that's been something that you've been evolving from. There could be someone in particular that might be like really just wanting to spend time with you and hold you close and like cuddle you, but then like it's almost like their phone keep calling from work, or like they're constantly being bombarded by work. This makes me think of like the witch trials, or like when the witches would dance around like a fire. You might be finding your crowd, pile 3. This could be something about finding your own crowd of women. It says me singing a song of the last that is gone, and then it says the gang. Maybe finding your gang. Also, 11:33 is the time right now, and what men might be saying about you to others is that they want to spend more time with you, but maybe they've been working. Or with this image could be what men say about you to others is that maybe the people you've been spending around time with have been witches, or maybe bitches. Or this could be something about maybe you're finding more of your crowd, people who are interested in the same things as you. I'm not really sure what else that could mean, so I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. We have I'm about to choose violence. We have money. What men say about you is that you have money. It says missing. It says I know what I want and I'm gonna get it. People feel like you're very determined. We have donuts. You could be sweet like a donut. You could like sweets. There could be something about you doing yoga and wearing really cute gym outfits. You could be someone who likes to listen to great music. You could be really taking care of yourself and your skincare. I think you're also a badass. You are a badass, pile 3. Us one day, if I don't care if you say no, it's gotta be us one day. It's gonna be worse. Okay, so refusing no as an answer. It says us one day. I don't care if you say no. It's gonna be us one day. That's funny. There could be something about a baby. There could be something about despicable. Wait, it's not Despicable Me. This is from Incredibles. The Incredibles. We have rare beauty. You have a rare beauty to you, pile 3. It also says, yes, I will save the flowers you got me forever. Maybe you're the type of sentimental person that would save flowers. You could also be like this sweet deer and all these like sweet animals. Aww. That's so cute. It could be like your personality, and that's what people say is like you're just like this sweet little like cutie pie. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful pile 3s. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, consider subscribing, let me know how I did in the comments, and if you're interested, I do offer personal readings. I have every single deck listed on over there, and you could get a 30-minute reading or an hour-long reading. The hour-long readings are bundle readings, so you get to customize, choose your own decks, index messages, all that different jazz. It's really cool. So if you're interested, check it out. If not, no worries. And I also am going to have an 18 plus extended reading to this pile. So if you're interested, also check that out too. If not, no worries. Thank you for just even being here. And I appreciate your support. Thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.